Remember, if you like what we're doing here, make sure to give us a positive rating on iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to the show. Also, make sure to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/thatoneandrew, where full recordings of this podcast are posted along with a plethora of other videos. Check it out today and listen for yourself. Now, on to the show. Greetings all, welcome to the Gaming Blog Podcast, the sleepiest #1 podcast for all the pertinent video game news spanning across all platforms including Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and more. I am your host Andrew Arana, and today I am joined by the bad boys of video games, Jake Ward and Roger Bennon. On this week's episode, we will be discussing Casey Hudson leaving BioWare and what that means for their upcoming games. We're not talking about that because I cut it out. Rumors of Travis Scott making a PS5 game, Cyberpunk breaking a street date, not talking about that because I cut it out, and our predictions for the Game Awards. But before all of that, tradition dictates that I ask my boys how they've been. Roger, we haven't heard from you in a while, and I want to hear from you first because we were literally talking for like 3 minutes before I hit record.
Okay.
So how have you been?
All right. Well, I'll come in fresh. I've been pretty all right. I finished up all of my to do stuff for the year basically. So
Lucky.
I know, right?
Lucky.
So I ended up max prestiging on Cold War, and I kind of got to a point where it's like I don't really want to keep playing because I feel like I'm wasting time now. So as far as what I've been playing, I started State of Decay 2, and I've been kind of enjoying that, to be honest. It's kind of my sort of grind. So
now you need to tell me, because State of Decay 1 I played a lot and I liked it. Classic Xbox 360 game. Really took that zombies genre to a little different direction, and I liked it a lot. But State of Decay 2, it looked more or less the same. Graphically, it didn't look impressive, and all I heard about when it came out was that it was a glitchy, broken mess. Is that true?
So I cannot compare it to the first State of Decay because I never played the first one. I'm playing the current one, the 2020 version, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still got some glitches. Is the funny thing.
All right.
I'll get some things where zombies are in certain positions that I do not think zombies should be in, and then I'll go to my camp and my
like you run into a zombie doing laundry or something. Like they're just like, you should not be here right now.
I'll run into a zombie T-posing in the middle of two buildings. Like, listen, there's nothing I can do about this. Like, you've already won.
Yeah. That's their intimidation right there. Just like, come at me, bro. You're like, oh man, I'm out.
Just drive to a whole new map at that point. And I'll have my like fellow survivors, like I'll go to my base camp and they'll all of a sudden start sprinting to their positions. Like I walked on them slacking off.
Oh shit, he's coming.
Shoot, yeah. But other than that, it's a very grindy sort of game, but I don't really mind that. It's just something for me to do in my downtime. So I've been enjoying that.
That's exactly what the first one was too. Is more that you just grind and build your base up, and you get your people supplies and things like that. And it's a really kind of like turn your mind off and just kind of relax. Nothing too big or important.
Right, like if you're going into that like knowing that, then I think it's fine. And I've been having a fine time with it, honestly, because like I said, I played way too much of Cold War, and I was like, okay, I gotta stop.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's becoming a problem.
What? You prestige already? That's wild.
No, that's dude, I'm not just prestige. I'm max.
You're max prestige.
Like,
yeah,
that's bad.
That's a lot.
Bad. I've gotten Guns Gold already. I 100%ed all of the campaign challenges. I'm not proud of it. So
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for it.
Thanks.
What a freaking COD boy over here.
I know.
Hey, Call of Duty's cool again.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear. I might have to check that out sometime. Because it's on Game Pass, and
maybe I should.
It's always one that I'm like, I want to go back and want to try out the second one because I really did like the first one a lot. I played it a lot on 360. So
you probably like the second one. That's how I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah, that Game Pass, man, it's so good, so good.
It's
Jake,
nice.
Yo.
I think it's fantastic, especially with EA Play. But that's neither here nor there. Jake, how have you been?
I've been all right.
Nobody cares.
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember if I talked about it last time because it's been
No
so
one
long
asked.
since we recorded. But I platinumed Astrobot and Miles Morales, and I'm
nice.
almost platinumed the Spider-Man Remastered. I've took a bit of a break from playing it, and I've been watching a ton of Full Metal Alchemist.
Good for you.
Weeb.
Yeah,
Good for you.
I started watching
the original.
I watched the original one for the first time. I've seen Brotherhood already.
Okay.
But I wanted to watch the original. And then I watched Brotherhood, and it took 10 episodes to do what the other one did in 25.
Yep.
So it's a really condensed start, but the second half is far superior in Brotherhood than how they decided to go in the original.
It really is.
Yeah,
it gets weird.
Dude, Full Metal Alchemist was my gateway drug into anime.
Yeah, it's good anime.
It's a gateway. I mean, mine was Naruto and Pokemon, of course, because like as a kid, that was what I watched.
Fair. Unless you count like Naruto or not even Naruto, like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess that kind of was mine, but really,
and Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah,
it was mine.
I was never big into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Into like quote unquote real anime, yeah. It's like Full Metal Alchemist or Bleach was mine too. Like it was all those kind of at the same time.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, I'm kind of fucking with this. I like this.
I can't remember which was. I can't remember which I watched first, but I'm pretty sure it was either Soul Eater or Attack on Titan, like the first real anime I watched.
You told me it was K-On! I'm pretty sure. You said that was your first one. That was your gateway drug.
That's an amazing gateway one. It's K-On!
My first one was Aramanga Sensei. That was like, wow, I watched this and now I gotta watch anime.
All downhill from there.
This is what anime is. I'm all for it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you guys are playing games. I'm not really.
Yeah, this week's been pretty lax for me.
It's not even this week. It's been the past few weeks because I took that vacation to my family, and of course we didn't have free time at all because family was there. Had to interact with them and things like that. I brought the PS5 and I don't know, we watched Netflix on it when we went to bed, but that was it.
I know. I feel you because I will say this whole week I haven't picked up the DualSense. It's just been the media remote.
Yeah. So I did that, and then when I got back, I played a little bit of Yakuza Like a Dragon, and at first, and I'm talking like at the very beginning, I was kind of turned off to it because of the combat, the turn-based. Like the very first battle, I was like, oh, well, this is way different. But the second time picking it up, I'm like, okay, I really like this, and I really like the turn-based, and it's really good. And it was one of those things where boss fights and stuff were so annoying in the original Yakuza games because they were just like, punch him 500 times and he's got all these bullshit things and he'll regen health or he'll pick you up and throw you or you'll get stuck in this animation where he's hitting you and you can't literally do anything. And it's like that happens a lot in that game.
I know.
But in the turn-based, that doesn't happen because they do their turn, you do your turn. And it's like, and just taking that one very large annoying piece out, the combat is so much just streamlined better and the story's good. I'm not too far. I think I'm at the beginning of either chapter 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it's only 3 though. I just got to the new town, but I love Ichiban, the new main protagonist. He's fantastic. All the side characters seem great. They did the thing because I was like, my big thing, and I won't rant too long on this, but my big thing was that how are they going to replace Kiryu? Because he's been the main protagonist for 7 games. You can't just knock him out and make me care about this new guy. But goddamn, they did it. In 2 chapters, they made me care about this dude a lot. So I'm excited and ready to keep playing that game sometime.
I didn't realize it was the same protagonist for all the Yakuza games.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, it kind of is. In 0, you play as 2 different protagonists, Kiryu and Majima. And then in 1, 2, and 3, it's only Kiryu. And then in 4, there's 4 protagonists that you switch between, but Kiru is one of them. In 5, there's 5 protagonists that you switch between. And when I say like you switch between, I kid you not, in 4 and 5, each of those characters playing through like their part is the length of like Yakuza 3. Like it's like those games are fucking long because usually they're around 20 hours long. 5 is like 70 hours long, 60 hours long. Like it's so long. They made a whole game for each character. But in
cool,
6, it's back to just Kiru. So he's the main protagonist of the whole series.
I thought you were gonna say in 6, every character gets a 30-hour campaign.
6 is 400 hours long. It was a little bold of Sega to do that, but it paid off in the end. But yeah, so and like up to chapter 3, I still haven't ran into any familiar face. Like it's not like, oh, they have all these side characters still here and carrying it. It's like, nah, this is all new characters.
Now, do you think they're gonna use Ichiban for future games, or you think they're gonna like swap it up every game, a new character?
I think that from what I'm feeling, because I played Judgment, which was kind of like the Yakuza spinoff. It wasn't called Yakuza though, so I kind of feel like they didn't really have that like this guy's going to be consistent either way. But when I played that, I only played like 2 or 3 chapters. And that's about how far I am in this one. And already I can tell that they are investing a lot more into Ichiban. They are making you care about who he is. They're giving him characteristics, character traits, personality, fun hair. He's like iconic already with his red suit and stuff like that. He has the dragon on his back. Like they're making him into the next character, and honestly, he's already better than Kiru was in 1. Because in 1, Kiru was just kind of like a wet blanket. Even in 2, and then that kind of turned into his like character trait was just he's kind of like he's kind of he's kind of dim, he's kind of dumb, but he's also like super like lovable, and he's super nice and stuff, and he's justice for the right thing. Charming. But Ichiban already has so much more character to him, so I could see them.
I remember I felt the same way.
That came with the...
I'm sorry, what?
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, I remember I felt the exact same way during the Red Dead Redemption 2 when I saw like the trailer for like Arthur. I'm like, there's no way this guy's gonna top John Marston, and I don't know how they did it, but Arthur Morgan, in my opinion, is such a good character, so much
fantastic.
I love John Marston.
Definitely,
so very similar situation. What were you saying, Jake?
I was going to ask, did you get the version that comes with Kiru and Majima's outfits?
I think so, yeah. The Daiichi edition. Yeah. No, of course. Like, I would have gotten whatever edition they came out with. Like, Yakuza is up there now. It is with Persona. It is with...
wow.
I think that's it. Like, I'm not gonna go out and make a whole shelf.
What we got.
I'm not gonna make a whole shelf for it.
I don't think there's enough Yakuza to make a whole shelf out of it.
Probably not. Also, I can't afford that. But like whatever edition, like new edition that came out. And the good thing is they release these games every single year. They are like annualized games, but they're so damn good every year. So it's crazy. But yeah, that's what I've been playing for literally like 2 hours. Like, I haven't played it much, but I love what I have been playing.
You got the PS. Oh wait, is the PS5 enhancement version out yet?
Nope, that comes out in like March. Xbox bought like exclusivity. So they got like the exclusive rights to the next gen version or something.
How could this happen? How could you let this happen?
Stupid. I hate it. I hate exclusivity.
Oh, did you see that the Xbox Series X can play PS2 games?
Yeah, I did.
What?
And it's like really good at it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Like, I kind of want to get like a Series S just to
a Series S.
Yeah, just a cheap one to play PS2 games on.
I don't know if I'd do that. I would just get a PS2 at that point and play games.
Well, I don't have a PS3.
Yeah, I was about to say you have a PS3, you ding dong.
But I can't.
Why would you buy the worst next gen console to play a game from 2000?
Because it's a novelty.
Imagine playing previous gen Shadow of the Colossus on your Xbox Series S.
Yeah, with ray tracing. Like, of course.
I don't think it has ray tracing in it. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
guys, for ray tracing.
You just immediately
it's gonna look like the shittiest thing on earth. Oh man. Well, with that in mind, it's once again time for everyone's favorite segment, the gaming riddle. Who does the theme song? One of you hit me with the theme song.
I refuse to do it.
I refuse to do it.
I refuse to do it.
Did you just remix him saying no?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there it is. This gaming riddle is easy or impossible depending on who you are.
So impossible for me. I know who you're talking about.
All right. It goes as follows. Released April 29th, 2010. So not too old. Decade old. Build bases. Sneak around. Play this game anywhere. Kept you waiting, huh?
Ugh.
What am I? Roger, surely you lost last time, so I'm pretty sure you guess first. You can ask a question or
I hate it when you start with me. I swear to God.
He just hates the segment.
2010, build bases, sneak around.
Yo, I'm about to kill my hamster. She's running so fast on her wheel.
I know.
Hold on.
Take her out. Put her in her ball.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna go take it off. Roger, pause that thought.
All right, pausing. I didn't really have a thought. I was trying to form one actually. Jake, where's your head at?
For as far as the game is.
Sure.
What I'm thinking of right now is boobs.
That's fair. Aren't we all, brother? I swear. Aren't we all?
I mean, it's December. We finally made it out in November, so that's.
I'm doing this new thing now where if Bean gets too loud, I just like pop her wheel off. I'm like, you don't get
throw her against the wall.
Oh my god, I did not do that. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, Roger. Where were you were asking or guessing? I don't know.
I was trying to form a thought and it wasn't going very well.
Gotcha.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Yeah, kept you waiting, huh? I don't know. I feel like every game nowadays is like building bases and sneaking around. I feel like that's just
but this isn't nowadays. This is last days.
This was
I know
2010.
It's a decade ago.
Do you have any questions?
Do I have any questions? Is it a indie game?
No. No.
All right.
It is not.
All right.
Jake, your first question.
Out the window.
Is it a mobile game or a PSP game?
Yes.
Bro, Roger? I swear to God, if you picked another PSP game, I'm gonna throw my entire laptop out the window.
Did I pick a PSP game before?
I don't know. I just don't know any PSP games, to be honest with you. So, what did Jake ask? If it was a Nintendo or a PSP game?
No, I asked if it was a mobile. Or a PSP game.
Oh, and you said yes?
Yes.
Bro, no. Fuck me. Okay.
No.
Oh no. I've got no clue. All right, Jake, you go. I'm just giving my thing.
Is it Peace Walker?
Yes, it is.
What the fuck is Peace Walker?
Metal Gear.
No, get out of here.
Metal Gear Peace Walker. It's basically what Metal Gear 5 became. What Metal Gear 5 is with all like the base building stuff and thing like that. That was Peace Walker on the PSP before that came out.
Not only am I firing you, I'm firing myself.
I am like the biggest Metal Gear fan that's never played Metal Gear.
I know. I remember I borrowed Metal Gear from you for like a solid year and never played it.
And then you lost it.
I never lost it.
Dude, I'll be honest. I will make this hot take. I will make.
Eventually.
Sorry for the fucking jet flying outside my window.
It happens every time.
I will make this statement right now. Metal Gear, as a franchise, Metal Gear Solid, for the most part, is not good. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Isn't the last game they released, wasn't that Metal Gear Survive? Isn't that their most latest product?
We don't talk about that. That's
Metal Gear Survive sucks. Metal Gear 5 isn't done. Metal Gear 4 is cutscenes. Metal Gear 3 is forgotten. Metal Gear 2 has terrible controls. Metal Gear 1 has terrible controls. I rest my case. We're moving
What about
on.
the Game Boy Color one?
I can't even imagine.
But hey, they 3 is not forgotten. They made a 3DS port of it.
You're right. My bad. It's
They
on the
only make
3DS.
they only make 3DS ports of forgotten games.
And it was an
don't
early
lie.
3DS title, like Street Fighter
Yeah.
4.
It had 3DS things. It had that Samus game. Everyone played that one. Just like Metal Gear.
Samus game
All
didn't
right,
come
moving
out
on
the console
to
died.
our fun question of the week. No masturbation questions this time, boys. Sorry about that. The one this week is it trashy to wear PJs in public?
Well,
the only time it's not trashy is if you're going to a gas station. If you're going to a convenience store, it's fine. Nobody cares. Anywhere else, no.
Walmart.
You gotta put on pants.
No, not at Walmart.
See, Jake, I would disagree with you because I understand what you're saying. People do it at Walmart,
yeah.
but
Walmart is inherently trashy, so what makes it?
I was gonna say that is trashy. Walmart itself is trashy, so you're still trashy.
Pajama day at school, that's fine.
But that's not public. That's at school during pajama day.
It's a public.
That's a very specific situation in a private place. Like that's not the same.
Jake, you might as well be you bend words so easily. You might as well be the fucking Riddler. He's like, oh, this thing says public bathroom. It's in public.
Yeah. Is it okay to masturbate in public? No, but if it's in a public bathroom, yes.
All right. Well, okay. But we're moving on.
Well, you thought we weren't going to get to masturbation. Little did you know.
I agree with Roger, though. I think like convenience stores, or if you're on like road trips or something, I think it's totally okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When you're like on a 10-hour drive, you're all by yourself and you take a nap, you want to be comfy.
Sorry, Roger,
have you ever taken longer than a 2-hour drive in your PJs? You start to feel awful at a certain point.
I have. Yeah. I have. I've gone cross country with them on before because I just didn't care.
Dude,
I just didn't care.
Where did we go the other day where you just left your PJs on?
I don't know, dude.
Target?
Last week, there's like 4 days in a row where I didn't take those things off. I was like, fuck this. Why am I changing? Why would I change? Why am I doing that? I just kept them on.
Honestly,
4 days.
Agreed.
So we can't judge.
Yeah. So.
I take the trash out in my PJs sometimes.
I do that.
Okay, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, but it's out in public.
Kind of.
Not.
It's trashy.
No, it's not.
It is trashy. That's for sure. All right, we're going to go ahead and hop into the news for the week. We'll leave this trashy subject behind.
This garbage
funny. Jake, hit us with the news theme. The Gaming Blog Podcast News Hour starts now. Our first news story of the week, Casey Hudson and Mark Dara, I'm not sure how to say his name, leave BioWare. The hits don't stop coming when it comes to BioWare. After a more than disappointing launch with Anthem, it seems like the company has now lost two of its most important key figures. I want to say more. Both Casey Hudson, the project director of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and the Mass Effect trilogy, and Mark Dara, leader of the most recent Dragon Age games, have both resigned from their positions. Not much else is known about the exact reason for their departure. Both claim that they left on their own terms and that their aforementioned game series will, quote, thrive, end quote. BioWare is currently running The Old Republic, a Star Wars MMO, and they're trying to rebuild Anthem. It is also known that a brand new Mass Effect and Dragon Age game are in the works, with concept art and anecdotal mention being thrown out from time to time. This news comes right off the announcement of the Mass Effect Trilogy remaster on November 7th and 7 Day, an announcement that Casey Hudson was a part of. So, boys, it seems like BioWare is imploding and they are not long for this world.
It sounds very much like our friends over at 343. They're having a similar issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
343 has its own issues, but BioWare's, I mean, they're just fucked, dude. I mean, there's no other way about it. So
And
there's like a silver lining of like maybe they'll get some like new creative lead and like push that series, like both those series, like a completely new light and revolutionize it. But
And I honestly don't think it's their
realistically,
fault at all.
they're just yeah, they've been having so many problems for a while that, and
Casey and Mark are going to end up at 343.
and I love the Dragon Age and Mass Effect games, and even the most recent Dragon Age game. But like, yeah,
Inquisition was great. I think it won Game of the Year. Like,
Yeah.
it was good. This is what frustrates me so much about BioWare, because BioWare is fantastic. Especially Casey Hudson.
They made Sonic Chronicles.
Casey Hudson is one of my favorite game creators. Like, Knights of the Old Republic is fantastic, and that Mass Effect trilogy is one of my most favorite games ever of all time.
It's such a really well constructed trilogy, like specifically. You know what I mean?
It really is. And I think the problem is that, I mean, it's two things. The two problems is the letter E and the letter A.
Yeah.
Those are the two problems.
It hurts so badly.
Because I bet every fucking dime that if EA did not buy BioWare, know what they would have done? BioWare would have finished the Mass Effect trilogy. They would have kept their Star Wars MMO game, The Old Republic.
Jesus Christ, what's happening?
Jake, if you ignore it, I cut it out.
Down the door.
If you ignore it, I cut it out. How many times
we just went over this.
You can cut all this out if you want.
If you ignore, funny. Anyways, before EA bought them, they had released Mass Effect 1. They were doing great with the Old Republic. And then EA was like, hey, you guys look like you're doing good. Ching, bye. And they finished out their Mass Effect games. But then when EA sees something that's profitable, kind of like Battlefield, because they've done this with Battlefield, they're like, okay, we're going to milk you till you die. And that's what they've done. And they did it with Battlefield. They're doing it with Mass Effect right now. Mass Effect Andromeda didn't need to exist. Mass Effect should have been 1, 2, 3, and then they move on to something new.
Somehow they've turned around Star Wars perception. I don't know how they did it, but they made good games.
I think they made good games based on their previous games. Like, don't get me wrong. That Jedi one made by Respawn, fantastic. But everything else, like Battlefront 2, oh, it's a good game. That's because you released it really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then that Squadrons game, I would call that subpar. Like, it's fine, but it's not like a quote-unquote good game. I would argue that any of the Rogue Squadron games are better than that.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is they made a good game and then fixed one. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no, that's what they've done. And
I said they turned it around.
But it's not hard to turn around a dumpster on fire.
I mean, we got Traveler's Tales coming out with that Star Wars saga.
Yeah, sometime. But that's not EA. And I mean, Star Wars games are coming out that are good. Those Vader VR games, those are great, but those weren't EA.
Does EA not have the exclusive right to Star Wars anymore? Or do they still kind of do?
I don't know how it works.
Okay.
I know that they make the AAA Star Wars games.
Okay.
And they have the rights to that. So, but with BioWare, I feel like, because I don't think there's any way that BioWare would have made Anthem. I think Anthem was EA walking in and telling them, hey, we need our own Destiny. You guys are like the only company we own that runs an MMO. So guess what? Make Destiny. But if you know anything about the development of Anthem, it was fucked from the beginning. Because they were like, they basically said,
like all they had.
They basically said they didn't even know the name of it till like the day they showed the trailer. Like, they're like, we don't know what this is called. And EA said like, hey, make Destiny. Oh, by the way, you guys aren't even allowed to mention Destiny now while developing it. Like, that was a thing that they said, like, you can't even mention it here because, you know, we don't want to act like we're blatantly copying it. And now Anthem's going through this whole reboot where if you look at the new menus and stuff, it's Destiny 2. Like they just are blatantly copying now. It's I don't know. They
I don't know why they're
destroyed.
bothering with that game because it's
They
like
just
dead.
EA is killing BioWare. They killed Pandemic. EA just kills everything I love. They're gonna buy Atlas. They're gonna buy RGG Studios. They're gonna buy everyone that I love, and they're just gonna pound them into the ground and be like, they suck now. It's like, well, yeah, they suck because of you. So
Yeah.
that's my 2 cents on it.
No, yeah, I agree entirely. I think Mass Effect, even Andromeda, suffered because of Anthem.
Yeah, I think so as well, because I think resources.
They killed it with Frostbite, and they didn't give enough time to make it, and they didn't give them any time to patch or support it. And they were like immediately go on to Anthem.
Yep, you're right. They made them use that new engine, which it wasn't designed for open worlds. It was designed for first person shooters.
Same thing.
Then they were like, oh, by the way, we're gonna have your second studio make this. The first studio, we're gonna make them make Anthem. So you guys that have like never even like really made a video game are gonna make this new Mass Effect. Also, we're not gonna let you patch it. We're not gonna let you finish it. Just like with Metal Gear 5, that game is not done.
Mm-hmm.
There's arcs in the games, and like the fourth arc or something, it's just you never know what happened. I think a comic came out like a year later that finally explained what happened because they weren't able to finish the game. It's it's so bad.
It's crazy how in this day and age we still have issues like that. But it's like not much has changed from the two guys in the office making a game in a week and somehow making it work.
It hasn't. And the thing is, like, I like a redemption story. I don't want anyone to be bad. I know I'm never rooting for someone to suck. Like in a perfect world, all video game developers are good, and I see all this goodwill being thrown to EA. Like they did the. Oh no! Wait. Never mind. No, I don't know what goodwill is going towards EA. I was thinking of Activision with like Tony Hawk and Crash and stuff. That's Activision. I have no idea what the fuck EA is doing right. I think they're still fucking everything up.
Yeah. That's the thing. They put out like quality content. It's just
sometimes
it's like they have these really cool games that come out, and it's like, oh, maybe EA isn't that bad, and then this happens. It's like, yeah,
it's not even with this because I think they're just greedy and they care too much about money. Because Madden is broken every year.
Yeah, it's the same game every year. They use
those NBA games that they release are broken every year. They're terrible. Battlefield 5, if you recall, came out and like half the menu was grayed out because the game wasn't done.
I mean, like, have any of the Battlefield games come out completed? I don't even think 3 came out completed.
I don't think so either. That game was a broken mess.
And it was just a blatant ripoff of Black Ops.
Like every, I don't know. There's a reason why they got voted worst company in America so many years, and I still think they are one of the worst because they don't care about their consumer. The only good thing that they've done is they took out the loot boxes and microtransactions that they put in. And then it's like they made a bad situation and then took the bad situation out and said, "Hey, look how good we are." It's like, dude, what? That doesn't make you good.
I mean, what's sad is it kind of worked for a bit. You know what I mean? Like people were like, okay.
People like them now. People are like, oh, EA's good. Look, they don't make us buy loot boxes anymore. And they give us free DLC. It's like, what are you talking about? This doesn't make them good. That makes them maybe normal.
They're only selling our private personal data that they put into the terms and conditions we have to accept at the beginning of every game now, because we can't just, load a game and hit play and be like, wow, I'm having fun.
Doom Eternal, anyone? You had to make a Bethesda account to play that game.
Oh yeah. You had to make a Bethesda account to play Doom, like the original Doom.
Yeah, the original Doom. Yep. So stupid.
Couldn't play it offline.
All right. Does anyone else have any other thoughts about that?
I don't know. EA is just like, can you give BioWare back to Microsoft?
Honestly, I think Microsoft would do well with BioWare.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so like if they had not been bought by EA, I bet you anything, if Microsoft was in the position they were buying studios now, back in like when Mass Effect came out, they totally would have scooped it up.
Yeah, like, I get absolutely
mine.
All right, well,
wasn't the first Mass Effect exclusive to the Xbox?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, never.
Everything was.
The only way
Everything
you
was,
get it
though.
on PlayStation is if you bought the trilogy pack that came out like years later.
It was like the year before the PS4 came out, and then you couldn't play it on the PS4.
No, yeah, I think it was like 2011 when the trilogy came out, and I don't know if that game ever released. It might have eventually released like downloadable.
Yeah, probably. I think
individually.
Individually, from the pack.
Yeah, but yeah, that game came out super late. I think it was funny because like 3 came out, and then like you could get the trilogy after that. Like I'm pretty sure 3 came out before 1 and 2 on PS3,
and then it came out on Wii U.
It did.
And then it came out on Wii U. Yeah,
it might have came out. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah,
I can't remember. It's either that or they came out at the same time. So, any hoodle doodle. So long, Casey Hudson. I hope you find new work somewhere, and I hope you do well. Same to you, Mark Dara. I did tweet at Casey Hudson being like, thank you so much, and he did like the tweet, so that kind of gave me a little fanboy moment.
Wonder if Casey and Mark might go bless Bungie and help them out with their failing game.
I doubt it. Casey Hudson did leave. This is his second time leaving BioWare. He did leave a first time, I think it was like
jobs.
He left like 4 years ago and actually went to Microsoft. And that only lasted like a year, and then he came back to BioWare. So yeah, I don't think he's going to Microsoft, but you never know.
Retire.
Who knows?
Maybe he'll write a book.
Dude's a millionaire. Why not? All right, moving on. Our next story comes from, I don't know, the internet. Travis Scott is making his own game? ? There's a rumor going around that Travis Scott, the rapper, is allegedly in talks with Sony on designing his own limited edition PS5, along with him being a designer on a new game. This move, while odd, wouldn't be completely out of the blue. Travis Scott is a very well-known brand booster and has been seen already in many PS5 advertisements. His Instagram was one of the first public social media accounts to announce that he had the console. Words are hard. Since this is a rumor, take everything with a grain of salt and don't be holding your breath.
Dude, is this gonna be like the Wu-Tang Clan PS1 thing where they had the cool controller? Are we gonna get a DualSense controller that looks like his logo or whatever he's got going on? I don't know.
Dude, I bet you we will at least get that. I bet you there'll be consoles though too. Yeah. Like I know about Travis Scott. I saw him in concert once for whatever reason. His music is okay, but I didn't realize when I was reading up on him, he sells things like nobody's business. Whatever he brands with, like, do you remember the McDonald's thing that he did?
Yeah.
Apparently that was like a smashing success. Like, he sells things.
Well, the fact that we know about him means at least
I thought it was funny. I don't think I've seen a picture of his face, like his real face, because and I saw that stuff he did for PlayStation, but it was just him, like a first-person view of him holding the controller.
Yeah.
And then I know him from the McDonald's thing, and then I know him from Fortnite. And the article that I saw about this used his model from Fortnite, and I'm like, well, still don't know what he looks like.
But Roger, that was a good point, though. It's like, yeah, we know who he is, and like, we don't really listen to his music. I don't think.
I know, right? Yeah. So I mean, he's doing something.
But yeah, it'd be cool. I bet you. I wonder if his console will be like a widely available one, like with other limited edition consoles.
I doubt it.
There's like 5, and it's $10,000, and it's personally signed by him and blessed by a priest.
Blessed by a priest,
which is also Travis Scott because he's also a priest.
He's everything. He is the console. You stick a disc in his mouth and
Christianity rates will surge with the masses because Travis Scott was at a church.
Yo, Jesus, step aside. I got this.
The new Travis Scott's Bible coming soon.
All right.
Walk on these labels.
Goodbye, King James.
That took a turn for sure. Okay. Going on to our next story. Cyberpunk 2077 didn't come out in 2077. Apparently, it's already out.
What?
Cyberpunk 2077 is set to be released next Thursday, but some lucky gamers have received the game early. Best Buy seems to be the culprit this time, accidentally shipping out the collector's edition of the game to a customer. The customer posted photos of the disc in hand, seemingly excited. More reports of the game breaking street date happened a few days earlier when CD Projekt Red themselves posted on their social media that spoilers for the game are out in the wild. So stay cautious out there, Samurai.
CD Projekt Red are gonna personally come to that guy's house and shoot him in the face with Keanu Reeves to watch.
Keanu Reeves just personally takes him out.
Yeah, he's like, "Wake up, Samurai! You've got a game you shouldn't have."
It's crazy though, because like the dude, he just ordered it like normal, and he was just like, this showed up on my front porch, and it's just the game. Like they sent it out.
He'll be waiting for that day one update for a while.
And then I saw the other one was I'm not sure where exactly it was, but it was like this big container of just PS4 versions of CD or of Cyberpunk 2077, and people were buying them and getting them and stuff. And it's like that's what happens when you make your game go gold and then you delay it a month and a half. Like it's gonna get out there. It's gonna break street dates.
Like, yeah, I would be surprised if retailers haven't already had this in their back rooms for like weeks.
A while. Yeah. Because it's supposed to come out like November, what was it, like 14th or something?
It was the same day as the consoles.
17th. It was November 7th. Yeah, it was the same day that it came out in Europe. So November 17th is when it was supposed to come out. So yeah, they've probably been sitting there for 2.5 weeks. And it's like, you're bound to start like, you're going through shipment things like, oh, these need shipped out. And oh, this goes to this. And you have old labels on there that say, it's already released. It's good. And you ship it out. And you're like, oh, shit. Nope, that's wrong. And then, people have Cyberpunk now. And I see a lot of people being like, well, it's not even the full game. They don't have the patches. I was like, dude, I'll play a broken version of Cyberpunk for a couple days. Like, I don't care. You kidding me? It's playable from beginning to end on disc.
They'll preemptively release the patch, like just because so many people have it already.
Hey, we want our game to be loved by all, even if you got it early. So
and then they accidentally, with that patch, accidentally make the digital version available to play.
That happened once. I can't remember what game it was, and it wasn't
that Magic Night on PlayStation where everything.
No, I can't remember what it was, but it was a game. I think it was like Sonic, or something. But they released a demo for the game. But what they did was, they gave you the whole game to download, but then it just stopped you at a certain point, and people found a way to get around that, and then they had the whole game.
Dude, that's how Crash Bandicoot, the original one, was. They'd have those Pizza Hut demo discs, and Naughty Dog wasn't prepared for that, so they were just like, okay, we're gonna just put the whole game on there and put a screen that pops up, and people like in a day were like figured out how to get around it and start playing the entire game came out.
Yeah, of course.
And it's not the like full game either. It's like a pre-release beta build, so it's pretty neat that one exists.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, good old Pizza Hut saving us again. Yeah. Roger, are you gonna get Cyberpunk?
Eventually, yeah.
Roger, are you gonna get Pizza Hut?
I'm gonna get Pizza Hut, dude. I'm always gonna get Pizza Hut.
There we go.
never let go of Pizza Hut. Yeah, I'd like to get Cyberpunk. I mean, I don't feel like I can truly call myself like a gamer and not get Cyberpunk at this point.
I mean, I still got The Witcher.
I feel like Cyberpunk's bigger than The Witcher.
Yeah.
I feel like it's bigger than The Witcher because of The Witcher, though. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's since that reputation that's why.
So I think it's two things.
Huge.
Yeah. I think it's two things in one. I think the first thing is that it's CD Projekt Red, and they just did The Witcher 3, which is like one of people renowned as like it's better than Skyrim. It's one of the greats, things like that. So I already have that going for you. And then the other thing is, I feel like a game like Cyberpunk is kind of what video games were always envisioned to be. Like if you think about video games from the 80s and stuff, all the advertisements looked like Cyberpunk. Now the actual games were like these 16-bit little block things, but there's like lasers and stuff and the neon lights, and it's just like this futuristic crazy thing. And it's kind of like the game that gamers have always been like, that's the game. Like if we could get something like that, that'd be awesome. And now we're finally kind of getting that.
It's just kind of lame that the box art doesn't reflect that at all. The title does, but it just goes for the standard formula of guy.
Dude on a box.
The 3D render we have of him in a pose. And I'm sure you'll get it and you'll flip the box art and there's going to be some really cool art that they
Yeah,
actually
probably.
want to put on there, but because those don't sell,
Marketing.
Call of
Yeah.
Duty white with a black silhouette of a dude every game.
Every game, yeah, literally.
You see, even Doom and Halo started doing it.
Yeah, no, seriously, like every single game did it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a little more excited for Cyberpunk. I mean, naturally, I get excited for any game that's releasing, even if it's like the world's shittiest game. I'd be like, but it's coming out soon. Maybe it will be good. But I'm still very pessimistic about this game, and I still think something's wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't delay a game as much as they've delayed this game for there not to be something wrong with
that's
it.
the thing. It's got this mythical standard to it, and it's going to come out, and people are just going to be like,
but the thing is, the CD Projekt Red, they keep building momentum from the previous games. You know, like Witcher 2 built a lot of momentum because like it had boobs and shit. And Witcher 3 was like a seriously good game, and now this is building off of Witcher 3. So it'll be interesting to see where that brings them, because they really haven't failed so far, but they really only have like 3 games with momentum under their belt. So,
and they only really have one huge success. So
yeah,
it's kind of like games like these. This is where we kind of see what studios are actually made of, because anyone can make a good game.
Witcher 2 was the critical success, but Witcher 3 was the commercial success.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And EA is going to come out and be like, "Hey, CD Projekt Red, BioWare's not doing so hot. You want to come with us?"
Nah, they're too expensive for EA. After The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red is not buyable unless you're named Microsoft. You can't buy them.
Let's watch Apple come in and be like, "Hey, Cyberpunk is now exclusive to Mac OS X."
Google, hey, we need some Stadia games, which it is coming out on Stadia. So
yeah,
there you go. You could
coming out on Wii U and 3DO.
I gotta give credit to Stadia for sticking through it. I figured they would have bailed after like a month or something.
Honestly, I've been looking at the new releases for Stadia, and there are some like big games coming out for it. Aside from Cyberpunk, there's some other games where I was like, they're getting this? All right. Well,
hey, listen,
Stadia, they're not quitting.
The N-Gage also got Metal Gear and Tomb Raider, so we'll sit and see.
Different times, though. Different times. All right. Well, does anyone else have any closing comments for Cyberpunk?
No, I just want to play it sometime this decade.
Well, you got 9 years ahead of you.
Just party on and be excellent to each other.
Oh my God, I hate you. All right. Well, it's time for a new segment of the gaming block. Episode 10. We're still shifting things around. No, I actually want to make this a segment now called the main topic of the show. And this is going to be what like the title reflects, and it's going to be like the thing that I really want to dive into and like we talk about for a long time. And it just so happens that this week it is our long-awaited the Game Awards predictions.
Oh.
And what I've done, so you at home cannot see this, but me, Jake, and Roger, if we're on the Google Doc, can see this. And what I've done is I've gotten every category. Best esports team, best host, game, content creator, multiplayer, game of the year, action, everything. I put every category down. And then below that, I put each of our initials, A, J, R. Andrew, Jake, Roger.
Dude, we can make a band.
And what we'll do is I'm gonna go over to the nominees and I'm gonna read you off the nominees. And even if you don't know it, you're gonna make your best educated guess, or you're gonna make whatever you believe is right. Now, how this works is we can say what we want afterwards, but we're gonna make a little game out of this, and we're gonna do our predictions on what we think are gonna win. Excuse me, I burped very quietly.
We can cut that out.
You wouldn't said something about it.
But we're gonna make our predictions on who we think is gonna win, and we can predict the same person or the same game, of course. But if you get one right, you get a point. And in next week's episode, after the Game Awards have happened, we will tally up all the points. We'll go through each category, see who got right, see who got wrong, and then we will count them all up and see who won. And they will be deemed the Game Award champion.
The winner gets a pizza party.
And the winner gets a pizza party.
Hell yeah.
that sound good, guys?
On Andrew.
Yes.
I said it's on Andrew.
Oh, the pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Whether
Y'all,
for sure.
Oh my gosh, I'm poor. All right. Well,
Quit buying games.
I can't. I need to get Immortals Phoenix Rising. All right. So, for your first category, we're starting at the bottom because I want to start with kind of the more boring stuff and then move up. But the first one is the best esports team. Do any of you watch esports?
No.
No, sir.
Me neither.
But
that's
I'm going
okay.
full on
So,
Team Secret because
I'm going to go ahead and
see them when I was first voting. That's how secret they were. And
I'm gonna Jake. I'm gonna name all the category. I'm gonna name off all the contestants first, and then you tell me who. Okay.
Okay, then cut this out, and I'm gonna say it again.
Oh my god, I hate. Okay, so the nominees for best esports teams are the Damwon Gaming, Dallas Empire, G2 Esports, San Francisco Shock, Team Secret.
Okay.
Jake, you went Team Secret?
I'm voting full on Team Secret because the first time I went to go vote on this, they're so secret I didn't even see them. So they just kind of popped up on me. I'm changing my vote to them.
Okay.
And their profile pic just looks like the biggest group of badasses I've ever seen in the world.
Oh yeah, those guys would totally hold the door for your girlfriend. Like they are the coolest dudes.
What a Chad move.
All right, Roger. What is your choice?
I'm gonna go with the San Francisco people.
San Francisco Shock?
Yep.
That's initially who I voted for, and then I saw Secret pop up and was like, whoa, dude, those guys are cool.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for second guessing yourself. You're gonna lose, you're gonna feel ashamed of your decision.
I don't care.
So Roger, I will join you with the San Francisco Shock.
Facts. Let's go. Winners take all.
It's just because they're so good at being a secret.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's my justification for the San Francisco Shock. Overwatch is still one of the biggest esports. And also,
huge.
The voters of this are typically journalists, and journalists can abstain, and these are American teams, which means it's going to be only American journalists voting, and most journalism is either in San Francisco or New York. And there's not a New York team here, but there is a San Francisco team, so I think they're all going to vote for the home team. That is why I'm picking them. That is my reasoning.
Andrew, you said you can edit stuff out, right? I don't know if you want to edit this out or not, but I'm looking at this next, and my double visioned self just sworn it said best esports hotel. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm over here going through the hotels in my head. Like,
James Patterson is
a nice,
awesome hotel.
Oh man, that's funny.
My double vision is not helping me. You can leave that in. I just thought that was hilarious.
No, it's pretty funny. The next category is not best esports hotel. It is best esports host, and the nominees
are category for that.
The best. I'm sorry.
The nominees are Alex Golden Boy Mendez, Alex Machine Richardson.
You could look up this one.
FJ Servox Deporter. I tried my best. James, and then we got the whitest name in the world, James Dash Patterson. And then we have Joreen Shiver van der Heijden.
I mean, I have to go with the unpronounceable one.
The what?
The unpronounceable one.
I gotta go with Patterson, so.
Okay, so Rogers Patterson and Jake, who are you?
The unpronounceable one.
That's the other
There's 4. 2 of those.
The third one.
The third one?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one too. Because I think...
Because her name is iconic. People will be saying that name for years.
Roger, why'd you pick James Dash Patterson?
Because he could read that one.
Because I watched Twilight movies recently.
It's not him.
I know.
Well, I didn't want to type that out, so I just copied and pasted it, and it's pasted in bold, but I don't care. All right.
That is a name and a half.
It's something. Our next this one is actually, we can actually have discussion and try to figure this one out. But the next one is Best Esports Game, and the nominees are Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Counter-Strike Global Offense, Fortnite, League of Legends, and Valorant.
Valorant.
Valorant. That was quick.
I'm gonna go with Counter-Strike just because I'm old school and I like Counter-Strike.
I mean, listen. I love Counter-Strike. Don't get me wrong, but it's old school. That's the thing, right? Modern Warfare is not a competitive game. I love it, and it's fun, and it's more tactical than other Modern Warfare and other Call of Duties, but it's not tactical like at all. Counter-Strike's really tactical.
I think they mean Warzone.
Even still, like same things apply.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Counter-Strike is like it's tactical and it's good esports game, but it's such a set following. Like there's no growth in it. Valorant might be dead, but I think that's got the most potential. The only other one that has the like competition to that, in my opinion, is what you chose, Andrew, which is Fortnite. Fortnite still has its following, but I'm gonna go with Valorant.
I think
I like to go for an underdog.
I think Fortnite is waning in its popularity, but
it is.
It's kind of like what you said, is that Counter-Strike is old, League of Legends is old, Valorant popped up, and I actually played it a couple times, but it didn't set the world on fire like everyone thought it would. It just kind of quietly.
And it could be a fad, but I'm gonna stay with it and say that was enough to carry it through.
I'm just thinking, Counter-Strike's been around so long, and it's still on the nominee list.
No, it's super good. I love
good. No,
Overwatch is
great.
on there.
Out of those three, Counter-Strike is what I would rather
isn't
play,
even on there.
but I don't think it's gonna win.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Nah.
Those were the dark days when they put fucking Splatoon in esports. It's fucking stupid.
Do you remember the trailer for the Switch? And they're all walking out with
I remember it. God, it's so dumb. Nintendo sucks. All right, next category: Best Esports Event. Your nominees are Blast Premier Spring 2020 European Finals. Unforgettable one. The Call of Duty League Championship 2020. IEM Katowice 2020. I don't know. League of Legends World Championship 2020. And Overwatch League Grand Finals 2020. I'm picking League of Legends.
I'm going Call of Duty.
Call of Duty?
Okay. Yeah. Just cause. What are you doing? What was that?
I had my fingers wrong.
That wasn't even English.
Well, I had my fingers offset like that. There's a microphone in front of me.
I
just have it off to the side.
I could see Call of Duty with Warzone this year specifically having a pretty good event, so I'll do Call of Duty too.
You do Call of Duty too? All right. Next one. Best Esports Coach.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
We have Danny Zonic Sorensen. We have Dahi Krusty Park. Fabian Grabs Lawman, Lee Zepha Jamin, Raymond Rambo Lucier.
Listen, I love that guy's got the name Rambo. I don't know if Sly knows. My vote goes to Zepha though.
Zepha? I'm just putting Zepha. I ain't putting that whole name.
Lee.
Zepha.
There's no way anyone.
Roger, do you have
coaching Lee over here?
Roger, do you have any?
Maybe Danny. He looks like he's been in the hole for a while.
Man, I agree with you guys. So yeah, let's go.
Who are you picking?
Let's go Zepha. Let's do it.
You know what? I like my boy Danny. Picking Zonic.
Oh no.
Zonic. Okay. Tearing us apart.
I'm sorry. Here. Well, this is one that we should be more cohesive on. Best esports athlete. We have Ian Crimsix Porter. We have Hio Showmaker Sue. We have Kim Canyon Jianbu. We have Anthony Shotzi Chavez Castro. And then we have Matthew Zewu Herbert.
Dude, I cannot tell you how aggravating this Game Awards website is. It just keeps reloading.
Who was the second person again?
Hio Showmaker Sue.
I'll go with that person.
You like Showmaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Showmaker as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you guys doing this on purpose?
No, he was my locked-in vote before any of this.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have that.
Talent.
You know that one dude that said "Free Hong Kong 2020" and then like Activision banned him or something? I want that guy.
Yeah, definitely that guy.
Yeah.
God, what was his
Blizzard fucking decapitated him, I remember.
Who was that? What? Yeah, the Blitz Chung. That was last year. But I'm voting for him. No, I'm not. Let's see. I want... Dude, Showmaker looks like a freaking nerd. Canyon looks so much cooler. I'm voting for Canyon.
Here, I'm getting on the website on my computer instead of on my phone because it's just not.
What do you got against nerds? There.
No, like he looks like a big old nerd. Like he looks like the dude that like he wants to grow out a mustache, but he can't grow facial hair, so he doesn't shave for 4 months. And it's like, dude, come on, just shave it. It doesn't look good.
Dude, I love his Harry Potter glasses too. He looks like Asian Harry Potter.
The rest of them are just big white men.
Yeah,
with grease faces.
Listen, Kim is not a white man.
No, I'm not saying him. That's who I voted for. I meant the other three.
Okay.
There's a bunch of grease-faced white dudes that sit in the corner and just complain about how League isn't good anymore.
Matthew is not a greasy guy.
All right, we can actually start talking about real things now.
Ian actually looks cool.
Okay. Our next category is Best Debut Game. And the nominees are Carrion by... No, I'm not doing that. Carrion, Mortal Shell, Raji, An Ancient Epic, Roki, or Phasmophobia.
I'm going to go with Phasmophobia.
I'm going to go with Mortal
I'm going to as well.
Because that's the only one I really have heard anything about on this list.
It's a fad, nothing else.
Okay.
It was on streamers for a week and that's it.
Yep. You're going with Mortal Shell. Have you played that game?
I've seen it. It looks pretty legit.
Looks pretty good?
It looks pretty cool, yeah.
All right. So again, I'm doing this for points. I think Phasmophobia will win because it was a fad, and everyone voting on this is going to be like, "Oh, I know that one." Click.
Yeah, like me.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's probably not the best. I bet you Mortal Shell just from the screenshot alone looks better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll die on this hill. That's fine.
I mean, Mortal Shell looks cool.
Actually, all these games look better than Phasmophobia.
Phasmophobia doesn't even like run well. It's a bit of a shit game, but it's fine. It's cool.
Yeah,
it's a neat experience.
Yeah.
All right, content creator of the year. We have Alana Pierce, J.N. Lopez, Nick Merckx, Tim the Tat Man, and Valkyrie. Valkyrie, thank you.
Valkyrie, she only became popular because of Among Us. I think Alana Pierce really blew up this year, so I'm gonna go with her.
I think Alana definitely Alana. Valkyrie?
Yeah.
You're gonna lose that.
Well,
yeah,
I'll die on this hill.
Because here's the thing about Alana. She's been in the industry for a while. She was a part of IGN like 6 years ago. She was part of Funhouse until recently, until she broke off on her own. But she's like no. She works at Santa Monica now. The guys that make God of War. She's a writer there now.
I don't know her. So
really? Oh, dude,
I'm just saying right now, she's very popular.
Yeah, she's pretty big right now, and she gives a lot of good insight because of all the different places she's worked in. And I'll honestly be a little upset if she doesn't win because I thought she's done a lot of good stuff lately. Valkyrie only does she's a Fortnite streamer that started playing Among Us. That's it.
Yeah,
fucking stupid. I hate people.
Yeah.
She's a fad. I mean, she won't be here in 2 years. Like, no one will know who any of these other people are.
The main reason I voted her too is it was the first year I've done Game Awards voting, and I'm like, oh, I know that person.
I had never heard of her, so. But all right, moving on to our next category, best multiplayer. We actually have games that we know.
Yeah.
Your nominees are Animal Crossing: New Horizons, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys: Ultimate Knockout, and Valorant.
I will say, out of all of these, I've played multiplayer in all of these except for Valorant.
Valorant?
Yeah. I think Among Us is definitely the most fun I've had playing with people out of all of these.
For me, it's probably between Among Us and Warzone.
So here's the thing. It says, for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massive multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. And when I think the big thing is looking at this, because I'm trying to think how the journalists are going to think. And they want to be bigger than they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at Among Us is fun. But is the game fun, or is it the people that you play with fun?
I mean, the game itself is very basic.
That's what I'm thinking.
The way it's structured is what makes it fun.
Yeah. I don't know, because I wouldn't say that doing the tasks or anything is fun.
No, it's not doing the task, but the rush to get them done and figure out who the killers are.
I don't know, because I only think it's fun with friends. Even just playing online against random people, it's not fun.
No, you have to have a Discord group. You have to have actual voices and talk.
Yeah, but at that point, any game's fun if you do that.
Yeah,
Tetris is fun if you're doing that. So is the game actually fun?
I mean, it allows for that uniqueness to come out. You don't get that from certain other games. I'm gonna go with Warzone though, because I feel like that's just the better. I feel like more people. I don't know if the better game is the right word I would use. But that just game is such a huge following, and it being free to play and whatnot. And I'm stick with Warzone. I feel like it kind of beat it out. I mean, I love Among Us, but I mean, it's just a video game mafia.
Yeah.
That's all it needs to be.
Jake, are you picking Among Us?
Yeah.
All right. Among Us. And honestly, I don't know. This is tough.
It is tough.
Because I can see... So here's my thought process. I don't think it's Fall Guys. I think Fall Guys was a fad. I even think Among Us to an extent was a fad as well. I think it's been dying out a lot. I don't think it'll be Valorant because not enough people played it. No, it could be Warzone. But honestly, I'm thinking Animal Crossing, and here's my reason why. Here's my reason why. And this happens a lot at the Game Awards. Animal Crossing is nominated for quite a few things, including Game of the Year. And what they like to do is, well, I really like Animal Crossing and I wanted to win an award. It's not Game of the Year, so I'll give it Best Multiplayer. They do that a lot. Even if it's not. See, that's why it's probably on multiplayers, because they wanted to give it something.
It technically has multiplayer.
Yeah, because no one plays Animal Crossing for the multiplayer. It's not a multiplayer game.
It's
the only
fun
time I've enjoyed multiplayer is when I'm physically with somebody playing Animal Crossing.
Because every time I've done multiplayer, it's just hey, follow me and look at my town. Bye.
I'm going to put Animal Crossing because I think that's why it's on there, is that they want to give it an award. They know it's not good enough for Game of the Year, so they want to give it a pity award, and multiplayer is perfect.
No, it's getting Game of the Year.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's kind of cool that we all have different guesses on that one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, best sport/racing game. We have Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 2021, NBA 2K21, and then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. I'm picking Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony Hawk all the way.
I haven't played any of these, but I've played the original Tony Hawk, and it's a remake of that, so I'll go with Tony Hawk.
And I think
the fact that it came out is huge, so yeah, definitely Tony Hawk.
And it got most of the music too.
It did, and even the new songs were really good. And then also, FIFA, it's kind of the same thing every year. 2K, kind of the same thing every year. F1 2020, kind of the same thing every year. Dirt 5, I have heard is good.
Yeah, but it's gross. It's covered
But
in
it's not Tony Hawk. So
Yeah.
That's the thing.
unanimous.
yeah. So all right, our next category: best sim/strategy game. We have Crusader Kings 3, Desperados 3, Gears Tactics, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and XCOM Chimera Squad.
I'm gonna go with Flight Sim.
I'm gonna go with
Flight
Crusaders.
Sim. Crusaders.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Um,
think I think Crusaders has a pretty strong following, like in that community, but none of the others really do.
Roger, I really want to pick Crusader Kings too because I played 2 and I really liked it. But I think Gears Tactics is going to get it.
I'll be surprised because I don't know anybody
Because
that plays Gear
Because
Tactics.
it's the only Xbox Series
I
game that came out.
well, no, not because of that. I think Gears Tactics is going to get it because most people play console.
Mhm.
And these games are all PC except Gears Tactics.
Okay.
But Microsoft Flight Simulator was
It's PC only. It was a fad. It also doesn't run well.
But it's amazing. You can 9/11 everything in the world.
Oh, son of a bitch. I want to change my multiplayer vote now. All right. Next category: best family. Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot 4, Fall Guys, Mario Kart Live. God, I hate people.
Wow.
Why is that on
Minecraft
here?
Dungeons and Paper Mario. Because journalists pick who's on here. Journalists are fucking
Also, there's,
stupid.
Way more nominees in this section than there was in the other ones.
I don't know. Why is Mario Kart Live on here? That's so fucking stupid. Oh, that angers me.
I'm using Animal Crossing, of course.
Animal Crossing, Roger.
Yeah.
Wait, is Animal Crossing the? Yeah, Animal Crossing, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go Animal Crossing too.
Mr. Smart Guy over here, like, yeah, best multiplayer because there has to get a award.
Yeah, and it's going to get this one.
Well, I mean, like, it's the thing is with Crash, it's like I like Crash and this game looks good, but I haven't heard anyone talk about Crash.
Well,
I'm
and it's
changing
not like a family one.
I'm changing my multiplayer one to Call of Duty now.
Okay, no backsies from here on out.
What? You can do backsies. All right, best fighting game. Oh man, there's some stinkers in here.
I mean, it should be obvious.
Grand Blue Fantasy versus Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition, One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows, and then Under Night in Birth EXE Late.
I mean, obviously,
Okay,
Mortal Kombat.
One Punch Man?
No, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I like how Street Fighter 5 is on here, even though it's like a 7-year-old game.
Yeah.
Okay. But Mortal Kombat didn't even come out this year either.
No, but it's like a 1-year-old game.
I think Mortal Kombat wins it, but I think
Aftermath came out this year.
But I think there is an argument that Street Fighter should be.
Between those two. I say.
Yeah, definitely. The rest aren't. I said there's some stinkers. Honestly, Grand Blue is good. Fate EXE is good.
I was shocked to see the One Punch Man game on here.
One Punch Man sucks. I don't know why that game is on here. Well, actually, I do know. It's because people know, like, oh, I know that. Sure, I'll put that one. It's like, okay.
What fighting games came out this year? One Punch Man, I guess. Yeah.
I think there was one year that, God, remember that terrible 3D one that had like all the
Balls 3D.
Yeah, Balls 3D.
Like Jump Force.
Yeah, Jump Force. That was like voted. That was nominated for best game of the year and best fighting game. And like that game sucks.
I just wanted it to be able to play as Kaiba.
I know what you're gonna pick on the next one.
Do you though?
Probably not. I don't know. There's a few.
So the next category is best role playing, and the nominees are Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royale, Wasteland 3, Yakuza Like a Dragon.
It's gonna be between the first two.
Yeah.
I think it's Final Fantasy VII. I would love for Persona 5 Royale or Yakuza Like the Dragon to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Final Fantasy VII.
I'm doing this not to win, but just personal preference for this vote. I've played Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I've played Persona 5, not Royale, but it's like basically the same game with some additions. I enjoyed playing Persona 5 more than Final Fantasy VII Remake, so I'm going to go with Persona 5 Royale.
All right. And Roger?
I think objectively,
I've heard a lot of good things about Genshin Impact, but I'm gonna go with.
I could argue that.
Yeah. And that's huge. so I could see Genshin Impact winning just because of how mainstream
Yeah.
it is.
I don't think so, because Genshin Impact is huge, but like I don't. The best thing I heard about it was, oh, I can get to level 20 without paying money. It's like, okay. And I've heard it's not a bad game,
Mhm.
but it's not Final Fantasy 7. Like
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII was huge.
that's Final Fantasy
Mhm.
7 is on a whole nother fucking level. Like it's not even, get that Genshin stuff out of here. And same with Persona 5, because you got to look at it this way. Persona 5 Royale is glorified DLC, if we're
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
honest.
but that has such a cult following still to this day that I think
Oh yeah,
Final
of
Fantasy
course.
surpasses it.
Yeah, Persona's not as big as Final Fantasy yet. It's getting there, but
Mhm.
Final Fantasy
It
is
is
way
getting
bigger.
there. It is getting Persona 5 like really skyrocketed the popularity of that series.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So, but I don't think it's there yet, and I think Final Fantasy will win that.
Oh, yeah,
All
of
right.
course.
Our next category is
I'm going for
best
the underdog.
action adventure game. All right, the underdog. Got it. Your nominees are A Piece of Shit Game, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I'll tell you why that's on there in a second, and then The Last of Us Part 2. So Star Wars is on there because it came out last year, but it came out right after the cutoff date, because the cutoff is like November 20th or something like that,
It's the
or
same thing
like
with
10th.
Smash, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
Smash
same
Brothers
thing.
was on the next
Uh-huh.
year.
So like Cyberpunk will absolutely be in next year's
It'll be Game of the Year nominee.
probably, yeah.
I will say
This is a banger of a list.
I mean, like, again, I think Ghost of Tsushima will probably win, or Last of Us, one of those two. I initially was gonna go with Spider-Man, but like now that I've had time to kind of like sit on it, I think I'm gonna go with Star Wars because I really really like that Star Wars game.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think it's between Spider-Man and Valhalla, actually. I
Really,
think Last of Us was too divisive, and I think the others ones just didn't quite match up to the popularity. I think the mass is really going to enjoy Valhalla and
we'll say
Spider-Man. So those are the two I'm debating.
combining combat with traversal, Spider-Man, puzzle solving, anything other than that.
So Jake, you are picking Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Star Wars.
All right. This is a tough one, because Spider-Man just came out, so it's fresh in people's minds, but so did Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about best action adventure. Ghost of Tsushima is great because of the world, and the action was cool. Like being a samurai and slicing people up was cool. But it was more like Tomb Raider, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With like the bow and arrow and stuff like that. It was good. It was comparable, but it wasn't really like innovative. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is a really great game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really pretty
I'm
game.
glad it's on here.
I don't know if it's best action adventure.
No, when you stack it up against all
And
the games,
then I know you guys counted out Last of Us Part 2 really quick. I'll
I
be
didn't.
honest.
I said it was gonna be that or Ghost of Tsushima. Honestly.
Honestly, that was the best part of Last of Us Part 2 was the action.
Mm-hmm.
Like that game felt amazing to play. So much better than the first one. So much better.
I just
Like
think it's so divisive that people literally don't care.
it's divisive, but that's the thing. It's divisive among the audience. And I think the audience weight is like 10% of the total vote. Critics love the game. Got like 9, 10 on 10s everywhere.
True.
So
I'm gonna stick with Valhalla. I think that just has the most mass appeal.
you can go Valhalla.
Hmm.
Valhalla.
I mean, John Carpenter likes it.
What am I gonna pick? I think I'm going to.
To go with Ghost, man.
I want to, but I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Oh,
Personally, I'd love to go Ghost.
I'll go.
But
I'll go
I
for
just
Ghost.
I haven't played it, so I cannot, out of good faith, vote for it against something I have.
The action is really good. Like
Mhm.
it's a really good game. So
From what I've seen, like what I watched you play in the trailers, it looks really really cool, and I really want to play it. And I
it is.
wish I would have got it when it was $20 at Walmart.
Yeah, no joke. All right. Next category is best action, and the nominees are Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Neo 2, Streets of Rage 4.
No, I love myself Streets of Rage, but yeah, Doom I think is really, really. If say what you will about it, it's got combat down.
So you both pick.
Yeah,
yes. Just Doom.
I've heard the thing about Hades. Half-Life Alyx is I haven't played it, I haven't experienced it.
That's the thing. Only 10 people played Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah, if I had played Half-Life Alyx, I probably would go with it just because the combat in that looks really cool. But I think Doom. I think Doom for sure.
I'm putting Hades.
Really?
No, you're wrong.
That's all I hear about is how great that game is.
Mm-hmm. I like Ghost Runner wasn't on there.
Ghost Runner for really good things about.
I kind of want to put Neo 2 as well. Like I'm not going to, but like Neo 2, that did come out this year and that was really good.
It's
so
Team Ninja. They do action.
Yeah. So.
And I got both of those games on Black Friday for $17 for both of them.
Heck yeah, man. All right. Next category: innovation and accessibility. Now, if you haven't played these, you don't, I guess, really know. So recognize the software and hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games by being played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. We have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperdot, The Last of Us Part 2, Watch Dogs Legion. I'm picking Last of Us Part 2.
That's what I'm doing as well.
Because
that's what I've heard of, that how accessible that game is. I'm going to stick with Last of Us Part 2.
Just looking at the settings and stuff like that, so evident. There's so many different options and things and accessibility that you can do in that game. It's insane. But I will give it to Ubisoft because both Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs Legion, when you start the game, it has that thing where it's like text-to-speech right away, and it asks for accessibility options. So
and it's the only thing noteworthy about those games.
Yeah, it is. I played both those games for the same amount of time. 10 minutes. All right. Next category. We're getting close, boys. Kind of. Yeah. We still got a little bit to go. It's best VR/AR game. And the nominees are Dreams, Half-Life Alyx, Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadrons, The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners.
See, I'm conflicted because I feel like Half-Life is the best VR, but Dreams is the best AR. So I'm not 100% sure.
Dreams is an augmented reality.
No, it's VR. Dreams is VR.
Yeah. None of these are augmented reality. I don't know why that's
Dreams is like its own thing. You know what I mean? Like it's like so separate.
Mm-hmm. But both that and Star Wars Squadrons were not initially VR games. They just have it as an option.
Yeah, but that doesn't really matter.
I think Half-Life as a VR game
is the thing, Jake.
Probably the best one out of all of these.
Here's the thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what Roger said earlier. How many people have actually played Half-Life Alyx?
But it's Half-Life.
It doesn't matter, though.
It's Half-Life 3.
If you didn't play it, how do you know? Like, you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Dreams.
Just on a technical scale on what it does and how it puts you in the world and how you interact with the world, it's Half-Life Alyx.
You know, I don't agree with that because I've played plenty of VR games, and I wouldn't say Half-Life Alyx is doing anything different than like Boneworks did last year. Honestly, Half-Life Alyx has the name. That's it. Mm-hmm. There are tons of better VR games, and the price to get into Half-Life Alyx, I'm pretty sure you have to have the Index, which is an overpriced VR headset. So
you can play it on the Oculus, can't you, with the link cable?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure you have to have Index, unless they changed that because it was like included with it and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure I looked up like you can use a link cable with the Oculus Quest and play it.
But I know that Dreams, Iron Man, and Star Wars Squadrons are all on PSVR, which has outsold any other VR console, which means those games have probably been played more than others. I think Star Wars has a big chance. It's probably going to be Half-Life because, like you're saying, name alone, people are going to be like, oh, I love Half-Life, best, boop. But like Star Wars Squadrons, the VR mode in that was pretty badass.
Yeah, it's cool.
And like it worked really well. I think for my soul, I'm going to put Star Wars.
Yeah. So we got Dreams, Half-Life, and Star Wars.
Did Roger say Dreams? Roger,
Yeah.
you said Dreams? And Half-Life? It's probably Half-Life.
Yeah, that's why I'm going with Half-Life.
I think
because I haven't played any of these games, but just from what I've seen from all these games and what they do,
the Walking Dead one is really good too. Like,
Yeah.
if you ever get the chance, that is a really good one as well.
just Half-Life is a really fun one because pretty much everything's interactable.
I don't know. I never liked Half-Life ever.
Yeah, but it's not Half-Life. It's Half-Life, but it's not like
Don't
how those
don't
games play.
don't tell the rest of the world, but that's one of the game series I have yet to play is Half-Life. I've played all the other Valve series except
play
for
it.
Half-Life.
Dude, Portal's so good.
It's one of those good
I
for
feel
its
like
time.
Dude,
No, like I love
they-
Portal and I love Left 4 Dead, but I haven't picked up Half-Life.
if they did Portal VR, that's all I would play. I just put
Oh
that
my
on
god,
and I'd
yeah.
be there.
Oh, can you imagine?
Roger,
It'd be so
I would
cool.
not go back and play Half-Life now because Half-Life is what like GoldenEye was in N64, where for the time it was
But
like
see, like-
amazing.
But see, like that's not an issue for me. Like I can play it and like conceptually in my
Like,
head, like
you
understand.
played-
Like for the time, this is where it's at. Like
Yeah,
I can
for
play
the time.
GoldenEye.
You've played Portal
I think,
1, right?
like respect it for its time. Oh, I've played
Yeah.
both of Portals.
Yeah, so
love
I
them
would
both.
say I would compare Portal 1 to Half-Life 1 as far as how the content is.
I mean, I'll be
it's very
honest with you.
basic.
The only one I really want to play is Half-Life 2, but I just feel like I should play the first
Half-Life
one
2 has a
first.
great story and characters. And it's just kind of more fleshed out like how, like Portal 2 is. Like pretty much every Valve game that has a 2 in the title is going to be the better version of the first one they put out.
Yeah.
That's the rule. All
But they
right,
won't make a third one.
our next category is best community support, and the nominees are Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Fall Guys, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Valorant.
I'm gonna say No Man's Sky.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's gotten so much better. And
Well,
I feel like Fortnite is just like it's pretty stagnant. Like whatever.
No, Fortnite's almost dead. I wouldn't say almost dead, but
Fall
Fortnite
Guys
is not.
It's dying. Fortnite's definitely dying.
Yeah, No Man's Sky has
More
gone
than
huge ever since No Man's Sky kind of came to like the back to the popular, and also like went to Game Pass. Like it's
And they
gone
added
huge,
multiplayer.
and they've updated it. I'm gonna go with No Man's Sky too.
All right.
Because
Well,
Destiny 2,
you're
Just
both
here's the thing
wrong.
about Destiny games.
Comparing my
Here's the thing about
first,
Destiny games. I love the Destiny games, but like it's the raids is what they got, and once you do the raids, that's it. Like you're done.
Yeah, but the thing is, people. This is best community support, and people that like Destiny 2 really like Destiny 2, especially now that Activision's gone and it's just Bungie. They really like Destiny 2. And all I hear is great things from the expansions and stuff. Like, I think that has the best community. Because what No Man's Sky is doing is great, but there's not, like, events. There's updates for it, but there's not, like, things. There's not, like, talking points and stuff.
Multiplayer and base building. That was an event.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. No Man's Sky has a pretty good community following it. It's not that bad.
I guess we'll just have to.
It's definitely worth sticking out because I remember
We'll
my
just
first
have to-
impression from it versus the night we played Roger. Like it's night and day difference with that game. How the game
Definitely.
works.
I know.
Definitely,
It's crazy,
definitely.
Isn't it?
This next category.
No Man's Sky was literally one of those games where it was like I thought it was going to come out. It sucked. It didn't live up to any of the promises it made, and it was just going to fizzle out and disappear. And here we are.
It's kind of heartwarming, actually.
And I like Hello Games. I think it's kind of a underdog story from where they're
Shout
coming
out
from.
to Joe. What was it called?
Joe Mama.
No. They made those like Joe Danger games. Shout
Yeah,
out to
Joe Danger. Yeah, those are cool. I remember playing those.
Yeah. So all right, our next category, best mobile game. We have Among Us, Call of Duty, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, Pokemon Cafe Mix. It's Genshin.
Pokemon Cafe Mix.
That's so funny how everybody has such different. It's Call of Duty. Call of Duty Mobile became.
I'm gonna go
like,
Among Us again.
Stupidly popular.
Really, we're all doing a different one again.
Yeah.
Because it really is a mobile game. That's what it is.
The thing is about that is that this is like the best game, and we're looking at it as a game. Like if I played this, what is the better game that's on a mobile device, and Among Us is not a good game.
I feel like
No,
you're looking into this harder than most people are.
I don't think so. I think I'm looking at this exactly how every voter that's a journalist is going to look at this. They're going to be like, this is saying game, not experience, not most popular, but what is the best game? And Genshin Impact is probably the most complete game out of all 5 of these. Maybe not Call of Duty Mobile, but Call of Duty Mobile has been here for a while, and it's just Call of Duty. I think Genshin Impact had like the biggest
Genshin
Impact.
Yeah, it had the biggest impact, and I really hope that game gets the respect that it deserves. I just know that like COD Mobile made such a stupid shockwave. I mean, all that game is just Black Ops 4, but with worse microtransactions.
Yeah.
It was so popular on launch that I'd be surprised if it didn't win.
Yeah, and people do play COD Mobile all the time. Like, I mean, Jake, you know that people going for phones, being like, "Can I play COD?"
Yeah,
like
people. I never really realized it.
No, yeah, and it's a bunch of like people older than us. It's like, oh damn, yeah, look at that. All right, well, we all have different choices for that one. Interesting. Best indie game. We have Carry On, Fall Guys, Hades, Spelunky 2, and then Spiritfarer.
It's a Hades.
Hades wins this.
Yeah. I was gonna go Fall Guys, but it's like, I don't know, Hades.
I'm gonna be the odd man out and say Spelunky 2.
Spelunky 2. Spelunky 2, I heard is a great game. It came and it fucking went.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna have so much respect for it. Like thinking back on it, I could see it winning. So just to be the odd one out, I'm gonna say Spelunky 2.
All right. I like it. I respect it. Best ongoing game: Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, No Man's Sky.
Fortnite because I had Marvel.
No,
Destiny No Man's Sky.
You know No Man's Sky?
I don't know.
No Man's Sky, just because the way the player experience has evolved over time on it, definitely No Man's Sky.
I could see right now No Man's Sky because they just had that big update. But for me, I feel like it'd be between Destiny 2 and Warzone.
Oh, really?
And
I'd say it's between Destiny 2 and No Man's Sky.
I feel like such a Call of Duty fanboy.
Yeah.
When I really don't feel like I should be, because I get really frustrated with the franchise, and I don't want to be. I like Halo more than I like Call of Duty.
You just
there's more Call of Duty than there is Halo.
I just see the trends that they're making right now, and I'm like, yeah, it's picking up. And I just don't think Destiny 2 is I don't think it's as popular as Warzone right now. So I'm gonna go with Call of Duty.
You're going with Call of Duty? All right.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't want to. I don't want to, but I think
you hate that you're picking it, but you want those points.
All right. I need them points, man. I can't win the riddles. I have to have this.
Games for Impact is our next category, and the nominees are If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV Edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, Through Darkest Times. I'm picking Tell Me Why because it's the most popular one.
I picked If Found, but I've heard a lot about Kentucky Route Zero.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to pick If Found?
Yeah.
Like, that's your choice? Okay.
Yeah.
I've only heard of Tell Me Why, so I guess I'll go there.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. It was at the Xbox thing. Xbox made a big deal about it. Like, this is one of our big games. So I was like, okay. And it's Don't Nod, the guys that made the teenage girls, whatever it was called, freaking superhero things. What was it called?
Huh?
Bro, I can't remember.
You know, they just make a second one. Freaking, what was it called? It was superheroes, and she could like travel through time and stuff, and it was episodic.
Is this? I don't know.
And there's like the tornado at the end and stuff. What the freak was that game called?
Tornado Time Travel.
Someone's screaming at me right now, being like, "It's this! It's this!"
It's Kevin.
Twister 2004. I don't know.
No, it was the girl, and then they had the second one, and had like that middle episode where it's like the adventures of like underwear or something, or I don't know.
Underwear.
I don't know.
Is it
what
the square?
I don't know.
No, it was freaking. I hate that I don't. It's right there. You know what?
Wait, what type are you talking about? Not like Life is Strange or anything, right?
Yes, Life is Strange. Thank you. It is.
That's what you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, hold up. I'm not crazy, am I? Like,
so they're a popular studio. They made Life is Strange, and people probably played that because like, I like Life is Strange, and they'll vote for it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Everybody I know of that played Life is Strange like really likes it.
Yeah, so they'll probably gush about that game too. All right, our next category, best performance. We have Ashley Johnson as Ellie, Laura Bailey as Abby, Daisuke Tsuji as Jin Sakai, Logan Cunningham as Hades, and Najee Jeter as Miles Morales.
Say Ashley.
Ooh,
Say
Ellie.
Ashley.
Yeah, it's between her and Jen, but I think it's gonna be Ashley.
Ellie in The Last of Us is the best part of The Last of Us.
Or Laura
and,
Bailey.
And Ashley Johnson's performance is impeccable. She was great in the first one. In this one, she is so
That's the thing about
good.
the Last of Us game. Say what you will, the voice acting is like some of the best voice acting in the industry that I've ever heard.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
The mocap performances too are great.
Yeah,
I
because
mean they're great, but I've seen performances where they like do that stuff like really well done, right?
Smeagol.
But like the voice acting in Last of Us, in my opinion, in both games are like unmatched compared to anybody else. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna vote for Abby? I mean, I like Laura Bailey, but Abby.
Yeah,
I love that voice actress.
So honestly,
that's the problem is she's playing Abby. I love that voice actress.
Well,
she does a good job.
Here's the thing.
She's playing Abby, so I don't think she's gonna win.
Here's the thing about Abby. She plays that character perfectly because she's designed for you to hate her.
She plays that character way too well, and I don't think she's gonna win because of that. Like it's a bit fucked up, but I don't think she's gonna win because of it.
I bet you in some turn of fate, Laura Bailey's gonna win. I bet you.
I'd be okay with that, to be honest, because I think she did a really good job.
I don't want her to win because of Abby.
No, that's the thing. It's like people don't want her to win because of Abby, because people fucking hate Abby.
That's the thing. She did such a good job. I'd be okay if she won.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I don't think
I wouldn't lose any sleep over it, but I'd be kind of mildly annoyed.
If any of these, I don't know Logan Cunningham as Hades, but the rest I have seen, and honestly, they're all great, and they're all ironically PlayStation too. So
yeah,
interesting.
I really liked Miles. I think that voice actor did a good job.
It's kind of
playing
whiny.
his part. But yeah, all Spider-Man are.
I don't think it's the same as Last of Us.
Miles was really fucking whiny.
From the parts you saw.
I saw the whole game, dude.
Yeah.
The problem is Miles is going up against the movie, so
whole time. Oh, what am I gonna do? That's Miles.
Well, I mean that's
he's going up against a movie, so like that adds another level of. Like,
and the movie one is better. So
these are the creators of Crash Bandicoot. They're going up against.
All right, our next category: best audio design. We have Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, Last of Us Part 2. I think you say Doom?
As far as audio design goes, Doom.
I say Ghost.
They put in so much work.
Oh man, I don't know. They're all honestly they're all really good.
Like the way. Yeah, I'd say Doom.
I'm gonna go Ghost because I think the way they integrated it to their gameplay was really well done.
And like in Ghost, obviously you have like the wind and stuff, and then you can hear like the animals and little fox yips and the birds, and then like the metal. And the thing I loved the most about that game was when you would sheath your sword, you would go like do the little thing, and it'd be so quiet until the little click at the end where you hear the sword like hit the hilt, and it was like, dude, perfect. It's perfect audio design.
I mean, again, I don't have experience with it. I wouldn't be upset if Ghost won. But I just think how creative the sound and music team is for Doom Eternal or it's Doom.
That's the thing. Doom is really good, but it's really good in a different way. I wouldn't be upset if any of them won because I think they're all really good in the sound department. So.
Yeah, Resident Evil, pretty good. I don't know if I would have put 3 though, because 3 is more of an action game. So all that like the audio is still good. Like the audio design of like trying to creep you out and things like that the game's going for. There's not really any of those moments. And then of course the Last of Us Part 2 is fantastic at it. Yeah. Literally everything about the game is
guitar.
It's like it's probably just gonna win Game of the Year. Yeah. I don't wanna score. So I said Ghost.
Roger said Ghost. And I said
okay. My bad. No. Okay, so that's for the next one. Yeah, I read that. All right, the next one, best score and music. We have Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Hades, Ori, Last of Us Part 2.
Say Final Fantasy.
I say Final Fantasy.
Listen, I love Doom. Again, I would totally vote for Doom if it wasn't up against Final Fantasy VII.
Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
has some of the best music ever made in video games.
Fully scored as well, like instead of a midis.
I
That's
feel like Ori could maybe fight, but I don't
mhm.
know if they can fight against Final Fantasy.
Are
So I
you
might,
picking?
Yeah,
nah, I might just join you guys and go Final Fantasy.
Okay.
because I was skeptical with the music at first because the MIDI versions are so iconic, and some of the sound music didn't sound quite right, but then it like grew on me,
I
and
was
when
gonna
they
say, well, I remember you like playing the demo and like the boss theme came up and you're like, what the heck, no guitar. But
yeah
then, like later in the game, the guitar does come in,
yeah
and
later
it's
in the
like,
fight it comes in.
oh yeah,
It,
that's right, that's
it
right.
progresses.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It's just because like there's a lot of games that will do that. Like um, Twilight, like Zelda is really bad about that when they score stuff like Ocarina of Time, and they do Gerudo Valley with a string orchestra
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
instead of like a guitar. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of they some composers miss the original meaning behind some of the
Yeah, the
music,
intention and meaning. Yeah, definitely.
and they didn't with Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
they did a good
so
job
glad the
doing
music
it.
came out. So, and that ending theme, it's I love that game. All right, our next category, best art direction. We have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori, Last of Us Part 2.
Say Ori.
Wow, I'm noticing
Ori
a
is
trend.
absolutely beautiful.
I'd say Ori as well.
It's got to win one.
Mm-hmm. Roger, what do
Yeah,
you say?
I'll give Ori.
I
I'll
like
give it
Ghost
a
of
go.
Tsushima's art direction, but I
And
think Ori is. I don't even know how they make Ori look the way it
yeah,
does. It's beautiful.
so that's the problem with this one is like when you hear art direction, you think pretty, and Ori pops and it's beautiful. But at the same time, it's like Ghost of Tsushima, the art direction looks really fucking good. It's just the art direction is realistic. And same thing for Last of Us Part 2. It looks, well, honestly, Last of Us Part 2, for art direction, that game looks fucking insanely good. On a PS4, it
For
looks
technical achievement,
amazing.
definitely, yeah.
Like, I don't know, because the gut reaction is, oh, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, because it looks so beautiful.
Mhm.
But it's like,
But all these games
well,
really do.
they all look beautiful, and then is it really just what's the prettiest one, or is it what's the best
I think
art? Because it does say for
Ori is the most
outstanding. It
distinguished.
says for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artist design and animation.
Mhm.
And if there's anything great about The Last of Us, it's the animations.
Same with Ori. It's fucking buttery smooth.
I don't know. I might change mine actually. I think I'm going to change it to Last of Us.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Ori still from the
Because
people who made
Yeah, I'm gonna
Deadpool.
stick to Ori.
I think Ori is just like oh, it's pretty. But when you sit and think about it for a second, I think Last of Us is better.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I think
different.
Last of Us is really good, but I think Ori just sticks out more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. We will have to see. All right, best narrative is our next category. We have 13 Sentinels, Aegis Room, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. Here we go.
Ghost. Because I wasn't the biggest fan of Final Fantasy VII Remake's narrative. And Last of Us Part 2 is kind of I don't even want to get into the narrative of that game.
Right? I know that's the problem.
Do though. Roger, what's your opinion before I unload this bag of this can of worms?
I'm just gonna pick Ghost of Tsushima and let you guys go at it.
I already went.
Here's the thing. I have beaten Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Hades, I don't know much about. 13 Sentinels, I have heard, is fucking amazing in its narrative. And people do say it's the best narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem is I don't think a lot of people played that game to completion. So I really think it's between those three, Final Fantasy VII, Ghost, and Last of Us. And here's the thing. Ghost of Tsushima has a good narrative. But it runs into the problem of it has to be a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of chapter 2, light spoiler warning, nothing too big, but at the end of chapter 2, Jin gets exiled
How could you?
And he gets thrown into the north where it's snowing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, it's a big deal for a samurai to get exiled, but you can still, when you get to the north, you can still do everything because it's a video game. You can still go to the towns, you can do all the little side missions and things like that. People still like interact with you. You can do and everything. You can still do everything. You can't go south past the castle. That part is cut off for momentarily, but it's only for like an hour, and then you can go back there even though you're just banished. So the narrative and the gameplay start breaking and fighting with each other. And then also, it's kind of a cookie cutter narrative. It's good, but it's not like something that's innovative. The Last of Us Part 2. Say what you want about it.
If nothing else, it is innovative.
Say what you want. Agree with it or don't agree with it. Because this isn't saying your favorite narrative. This is saying best narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game did so well with its narrative that it made people hate the game. Like, that's how good I think the narrative is that it makes people hate it because of this one character.
And that is impressive in its own right, to be honest.
Like most games, I feel like
I don't think it's a win, though.
Like, think of Zelda for a second. Think in Zelda, if they're like, oh, you play as Ganondorf now, people aren't going to be mad like, Ganondorf, but he destroyed Castletown and killed the Happy Mask Salesman and stuff. They'd be like, oh, this is cool. I'm playing as the bad guy now. Last of Us was so good that it made you play as the bad person, or not even the bad person, because honestly, Abby's not a bad person. And that's kind of what's amazing about the narrative is, because I fought back and forth through this so much. Even like to this day, I still fight with myself because I'm like, God, I fucking hate her. But then at the same time, when you play, it's like, God, she really didn't do anything wrong. Like, she honestly didn't, because Joel was a bad guy. And Joel killed her father.
That was clear from the get-go.
If you just like put the person, if you put the person in the other shoes, it's like she was justified to do that. Because Ellie would have done the same thing, absolutely. Which she did.
I wouldn't say she was justified to do that, but yeah.
I don't know.
Roger,
I played all these.
Did you agree? They just stole that story structure from Halo 2. Halo 2 did it first.
Halo 2 did it first. Hashtag Bungie did it first.
I'm picking Last of Us.
Halo 5 as well, to a lesser extent.
To a much lesser extent.
Yeah. Halo 5.
I said I stick with Ghost.
13 Sentinels has a shot if enough people played it. Because that's what I keep hearing is that game, best narrative. Like, it's the best story in a long time that people have played. I don't know, though. I didn't beat it. And I don't know. I just go back to Ghost. It was just kind of generic. It was cool. I like the relationship between him and his uncle. But, like, everything else about it, it was just kind of like cookie cutter. Oh, they're invading your home. Take your home back. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Star Wars.
I get to be a samurai, so it's cool. But, you know, if you ask me to name any of the other characters, I don't think I could. Like, I don't know the other characters in there. But moving on to best game direction. Your nominees are pretty familiar at this point. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Last of Us Part
2. This one's tough for me.
I'll go Final Fantasy.
I go Final Fantasy too.
Didn't like the game direction of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, Jake, here's the thing. Who asked, though? I'm joking.
I'm going to vote for Ghost again.
You're going to vote for what?
Ghost.
You like a game that you've never played more than a game that you beat.
Because from what I've seen of
Ghost... For me, it was between Final Fantasy and Ghost, because I know Ghost was really well told.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a lot about Ghost, and I just like that one a lot more than what Final Fantasy VII did.
I think in terms of game direction, what Final Fantasy VII did, they took a game from 1997 and remade it, but it kept everything in that game, but made it modern and made it good. I think it was the perfect way to bring a retro game and infuse nostalgia and old things into a modern. Like, I think of the house battle alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you think of that, like a game direction and game design, how do you put that house and have it make sense in a modern day? It doesn't make sense, except they made it make sense, and
Yeah.
it was believable in the game.
They didn't have the goblin out on an island all by himself, though.
We didn't get that far. It might be there.
Maybe not, because who knows what the fuck's going to happen in the next part.
Honestly, yeah, who knows?
It's not even
So,
Final Fantasy VII at this point.
it's something. So,
Might as well
all
be
right.
called Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
Why'd they skip that one? I never know.
I don't know. All right, and finally, boys, our last what do you call it? Category.
Yeah.
Game of the year for 2020. We have Doom Eternal from id Software, Final Fantasy VII Remake from Square Enix, Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch, Hades from Supergiant, fucking Animal Crossing from Nintendo, and The Last of Us Part 2 from Naughty Dog.
I'm going all the
Shut
way
up.
with Animal Crossing.
No, you're not. Give me your real.
That is my real vote.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're a terrible person.
I haven't played these other games.
That makes me even more angry.
I played Final Fantasy VII. I did. I liked Animal Crossing more than Final Fantasy VII.
You're disgusting. I could go on and on and on why Animal Crossing New Horizons isn't even the best Animal Crossing game. But you're really trying to sit here and tell me it's better than Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy VII, Last of Us Part 2, Doom Eternal? Maybe it's better than Hades, but even then I've heard really good things from Hades.
I wouldn't know.
You're
awful. Roger, give me something good.
What are you guys thinking?
Animal Crossing.
No.
What
are you thinking?
Last of Us.
Personally, Last of Us. Like, if we're talking about an overall game,
but
I think it's the best one.
For the chance that Animal Crossing could beat out Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima
and Final Fantasy and Doom.
I want it to happen.
And see, that's the thing, is that it could happen if the others split the vote. If people are split between Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima, Animal Crossing could edge out.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm thinking just knowing the history, I'm leaning towards Ghost of Tsushima.
You're leaning towards Ghost?
Yeah.
As far as like gameplay wise, I'd probably say Doom because I enjoy that combat.
Yeah, I think gameplay wise maybe Doom, but
Animal Crossing, man.
I don't think it's enough.
I honestly don't know why. Like all serious now, I don't know why Animal Crossing is honestly on this list. I think they felt like they had to have some Nintendo representation, and that's the only Nintendo game that's released this year.
How big it was.
I mean, it was popular.
Just because a game's popular doesn't mean that Call of Duty's not on this list. Like,
yeah, I know, because Call of Duty's kind of garbage. Like, you don't gotta explain it to me. I understand.
Just because it's popular doesn't mean it has to be Game of the Year. Like, I honestly don't believe Animal Crossing is that good of a game. I don't.
It's not.
It's cool.
It's not.
I
mean, I like it. It's not.
It's kind of good the same way that Among Us is good. It's how you make it. But, like, the technical core game itself is not that good of a game. It's
the
Fetch Quest
game for this year.
It really was not, and there's a reason why no one plays it anymore. And you can find the console anywhere. It's because no one actually cares about it anymore.
You can find the console everywhere because Nintendo just mass produced them more than the other consoles they currently offer.
Well, that's because no one wants it. Also, there's two reasons.
The only reason they brought it back was so they could have something around the same time the new consoles are coming out.
Yeah, and it didn't work out. So, all right. Well, there you have it. Those are all of our choices. Thank you for sticking with me, guys. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah. And I'm excited to watch the Game Awards next Thursday.
And win Game of the Year.
Dude, honestly, if they won Game of the Year, I I don't think it can win Game of the Year because I think so many people wouldn't watch the Game Awards anymore. Like, being totally honest, I think so many people would be like, this is so fucking dumb, I'm out.
I want to see Animal Crossing New Horizons Game of the Year edition on the shelf.
It's not. It's going to win Family Game. It's going to win Best Family Game.
It's going to get that for sure, yeah. But if you could
all
pull
right.
out...
Nope, it's not going to. All right, moving on. We're going to quickly do our free games for the month and then the big releases, which are only a couple, and then we will wind down this podcast. You guys ready?
I guess so.
Sure.
All right, I want to go ahead and take turns reading the free games because there's a lot of them. Beginning of a new month, and everything is giving away everything. So, tradition dictates that Jake starts.
Yay! Coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate this month includes Control, which that was awesome. Doom Eternal, Haven, Rage 2, Slime Rancher, which I love that game. VA 11 Hall A.
Pronounced Valhalla.
I don't know. Yes, You're Great. Dragon Quest
That's why I told
11 S, Echoes of an Elusive Age, Definitive Edition. Call of the Sea.
Stupid name.
Monster Sanctuary. It's longer than the Google search bar. Try it out. Starbound. Oh, Starbound? That's on console?
Yep.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I didn't know that was on console either.
Unto the End. Assetto Corsa. Gang Beasts. Greedfall. Super Hot. Mind Control Elite. And Ukulele and the Impossible Lair.
Some good games in that list. Some good games.
It is.
Roger, you're next.
It's Roger.
Okay. Free games with gold this month offers The Raven Remastered from December 1st to the 31st, Bleed 2 from December 16th to January 15th, Saints Row, Gat Out of Hell from December 1st to the 15th, and Stacking from December 16th to the 31st.
All right, and for PlayStation Plus this month, subscribers are offered Just Cause 4, Rocket Arena, and Worms Rumble. Kind of a weak offering, if you ask me.
Well, hey, we get Bugsnax and Worms. I'll take it.
That's true. Yeah, Bugsnax.
Is Bugsnax, which I've actually heard is a good game. Coming to PS Now in December includes Horizon Zero Dawn, the Complete Edition, Wreckface, Darksiders 3.
That was Wreckfest.
No. Darksiders 3, no. The Surge 2, Stranded Deep, and Broforce.
On Stadia, Pro members are offered 6 new games: Into the Breach, Hitman 2, Pine, Monster Jam, Steel Titans, Everspace, and Secret Neighbor.
Heck yeah.
If you have Amazon Prime, make sure to check with the Prime gaming titles. For December, subscribers have a limited time to claim Genesis Alpha 1 Deluxe Edition, Let This Path of Progress, Victor Vran Overkill Edition, Smoke and Sacrifice, A Knight's Quest, Ironcast, The Spectrum Retreat, Lost Horizon, Battlefield 3, Close to the Sun, Turmoil, Sigma Theory, Global Cold War, Wizards of Legend, and Hyperdot. And as always, make sure to check in with the Epic Game Store every week to claim whichever free games they are offering at the time. That Amazon Prime one, I do mean check it as soon as possible because some of those expire. It's really weird. Some expire December 10th, December 15th, December 30th, January 10th. It's all random. So just I would go on there and claim them all.
I just started watching Man in the High Castle on Amazon Prime. That show's wild.
Yeah,
good show.
All right, moving on.
All right, so now moving on. Those are all your free games for the month. If you have all those, you don't even need to buy a game ever. New big releases of the week. Jake, you start off with our number 1.
Hell yeah. Immortals Phoenix Rising for what is EGS?
Epic Game Store.
Epic Game Store, okay. Because it's an exclusive.
Yep.
Xbox, PlayStation 4, and then PS5, Stadia, and Switch.
Yep.
Immortals Phoenix Rising brings grand mythological adventure to life. Play as Phoenix, a new winged demigod, on a quest to save the Greek gods. The fate of the world is at stake. You are the gods' last hope. Wield the powers of the gods like Achilles' sword. I thought it was his heel. And Daedalus' wings to battle Daedalus. Is Daedalus? Yeah. Wings to battle powerful enemies and solve ancient puzzles. Fight iconic mythological beasts like Cyclops and Medusa in dynamic combat in the air and on the ground, because you fight those things in the air. Use your skills in diverse weapons, including self-guided arrows, telekinesis, and more for devastating damage. Devour a stylized open world across 7.
Discover.
What? I said that.
You said devour.
You said devour.
Really?
Yeah, you did.
We have
It's okay.
That too. Discover a stylized open world across 7 unique regions, each inspired by the gods.
I've heard the game's good.
Yeah.
People are well, okay. So I've heard people complain, being like, "This is just a ripoff of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, but better combat and a better story." So I'm like, "So it's a better game?"
Yeah.
That sounds great. Like,
I love it.
I want that. But yeah, I think it comes out on Switch. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's on. I think it's on Switch.
Yeah, because those are screenshots. Because I've been bitching about it, being like, "Look at it. It looks like trash on Switch." Yeah. Okay. It's trash. Roger, you get to describe the worst game.
Cool. Yeah, Fire Emblem, Shadow Dragon, and the Blade of Light for the Switch.
If you give money to this, I hate you.
Sorry.
Meet Marth and recruit some of the most beloved Fire Emblem characters in their 8-bit glory as you play through all 25 chapters of this classic Famicom tactical role-playing game. Localized and released for the first time in North America for a limited time.
That's why I hate you. For a limited time.
You get to play the first Fire Emblem game. Yippee, yay.
You get to play the worst Fire Emblem game, but you only get to buy it for a limited amount of time because we're Nintendo and we fucking hate you.
It's $7. Oh well.
But still, it's the principle.
Or $50.
They shouldn't.
$50.
$50 if you're named Jake Ward.
Hey,
yeah, well.
don't dox me.
Luckily, I'm not named Jake Ward, so I dodged a bullet there.
I only bought that one for the glass NES cartridge.
You're terrible.
You would.
You're terrible, and you're enabling Nintendo. You're enabling Mr. Mario.
I'm their biggest supporter,
Honestly.
They're the underdogs out there. I got to root for them.
Oh, yeah, I know. Nintendo, the underdog. I feel ya. Fitness Boxing 2, Rhythm and Exercise comes out on Switch. Choose from various trainers, each with different personalities and styles. They'll even change the way they speak the more you work out with them. Select the challenge level from light to heavy and have a workout prepared for you by your trainer, or create one all by yourself from scratch in free training. Complete achievements to earn tickets for in-game items to customize your trainer's outfit and more. It didn't tell you what the game was in the description, but it's kind of cool and I'm interested in this game. So it's a rhythm boxing game. And it has like actual songs, like real songs, and then it's just, it looks like rhythm bars coming down, and then you punch, like do uppercuts and things to the rhythm of the song.
Falco punch.
It looks really cool. Oh look, Jake, you get the weird one.
Hell yeah, I get Vladitor's. Excuse me. I hope I can read this correctly. Gladiators is an online multiplayer TOBA. It's tiny online battle arenas for those who don't know. Fight in mini arenas against 3 other players. 3, count them, and earn rewards to improve the appearance of your characters.
Gladiators. It's a TOBA. Tiny online battle arena. Never heard of that in my life.
Like a MOBA, but with 3 people.
And it's tiny. All right, well, there it is. That's the end of the Gaming Blog podcast, ending on a high note. Is there anything else you guys would like to discuss, comment, or you have concerns about?
No siree, I am golden.
Yeah,
I'm all good.
I think I'm good.
Jake, yeah, you had to think about that for a while, so... All right, well, with that in mind, thank you so much for listening. To all of our audience out there, make sure to share this with your friends. You can find us on Google, iTunes, YouTube, everything, every Indian channel, podcasting channel. Go tell your Indian friends, please. Go tell your English friends, Canadian friends, Hispanic, anyone. Go tell anyone and everyone. Have your grandma listen to this, your mother listen to this, your dog. Go buy an iPod for your dog and have it listen to this. But in all seriousness, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Roger, for joining me.
You're welcome.
We should be. I guess I'll mention this now. So, I believe we have decided that when it comes to breaks, Thanksgiving, Christmas, things like that, we are going to opt out of doing a podcast episode. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't upload something. I might do a solo show, maybe I do a one-on-one or something like that. But the normal show like this, I just don't want to stress myself out. I don't want to stress out my co-host. I want everyone to enjoy themselves on vacation. I feel like they are obligated or have this like duty to do the podcast while they're away with family or on trips or whatever they're doing.
You said duty.
Don't expect the normal show on holidays. I'll try to think of something to do to replace that. But I just want to let everyone know that. Other than that, thank you again. And make sure you watch the Game Awards and make your own list at home and see how many points you get. And we will come back next week, tally up the points, talk about the other news, and show everyone that I'm the best.
Someone's getting a pizza party, and if it's Roger, it's gonna be really sad because he'll be all by himself, and we're gonna order it for him.
That's a whole pizza to myself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like
I can't wait.
Party.
Yeah, he's just gonna be unassuming at home, and then he's gonna hear a ring at the doorbell. And it's gonna
I'm gonna hear the Pizza Hut man, and I'm gonna know right then there.
It doesn't matter though because I'm gonna win it. Anyways, thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.